This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Happy Wednesday, guys. Welcome to the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast. Talking private jets today. How many you got, Whip?
I got three. Yeah, got a new G6 last week. It's my favourite PJ.
Well, it's not very... I mean, it burns quite a bit of fuel.
Yeah.
We're not good for the environment.
I don't really care, mate, to be honest.
I know you don't.
I burn fuel in my backyard just in a 40-gallon drum. Just because I don't care about the environment.
We've doused you a couple of times.
What do you mean?
Unleaded.
Is that what that was?
This is a bit of a joke.
That was
Just
funny
to
stuff.
Scare you at the Christmas party?
Really good. Went viral.
Well, you shouldn't have done that with Chris Smith.
Secrets on private jets. What really goes on in the life of a private jet? And I'm not talking about secrets you've heard on a private jet. Got a story from a woman that worked for 30 years on private jets. Billionaires, sports personalities, singers, poets. Not really poets. Some phenomenal stories you'll hear on the podcast.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I'm looking for people who constantly complain. I'm looking for Michael Whipfleys over here.
There's a difference between complaining and whinging, Ryan. If we were doing whinging, I'd be looking for you. You're a whinger, I'm a complainer. One is my expectations are a lot higher than yours and a lot of other people.
Well, this would have been you on the plane that I was on the weekend. Have a listen to this.
Fly with me.
Get on there, you get settled. We've got kids in that as well. So you get settled, everyone's okay. Fuel. You're waiting for everybody to get on. And then you're looking at the time, you're 10 minutes late, you're 15 minutes late. What's going on? Is there something happening with the plane? I don't know what's going on. Then I realise I could hear some commotion a couple of rows back. And I look over and there is a guy complaining to the flight attendants that his seat isn't working properly. It's not going back.
You hadn't even taken off?
You're in economy, mate. You're in economy. You don't need the seat back. And coming from a 6'5" guy, you don't need your seat back.
Get over it.
He said, then I could hear the classic line is, I've paid good money for this seat. Now, I know there's an argument in that, but these poor flight attendants were going, well, sir, we could actually get a technician in. We could get someone in to have a look at it, but we are running late. And he said, well, we are not taking off until you get this seat fixed.
Could they move him? Was there another seat available on the plane?
This is what happened. It got to the point where there were people around him, and I was about to put my hand up and said, I will sit there, mate.
Yeah,
you can sit
swapsies.
You know what? You can sit next to these two kids and put up with them for the next hour 45.
Good luck.
If you want to. There was someone who put their hand up and said, mate, let's just swap seats. And finally, after 15 minutes of arguing, this guy said, yeah, I will, but don't worry, you'll be receiving an email from me. And I'm like, honestly,
come on, man.
And there are people in this world, and if you know someone, do you know a constant complainer, and what have they complained about before? Because they get in their minds, I've paid good money for this seat, and I will not move until you get it fixed.
But that person's angry, aren't they? They're angry in life.
Well, this is what we were talking before.
Yeah.
They could have had a bad day. There's got to be an element of...
Because you've got control in that moment, though, for how the rest of your day looks. So if you go on and complain for 15 minutes, the rest of your day till you shut your eyes and go to sleep, you're going to be angry about that moment. So you've ruined your day.
The way that I look at it, okay, here's an example. The other day, do you know with coffees, right? And coffees are getting expensive now. I don't know about you guys.
Did you blow up, did you?
No, I didn't blow up at all. But it's a bit of a minefield how hot your coffee is.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody likes their coffee a certain temperature. Now, if it's not hot enough, for me, that's like an iced coffee.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy it as much. So sometimes I'll go get a coffee and then I'll walk off with the dog and I'll go, and I'll take my first sip and I'll know straight away I'm not going to enjoy this coffee.
Got a lukewarm, did you?
I got a lukewarm.
You got a lukey.
I wanted a little bit. And then, it's not like they can just stick the coffee cup into the...
Can't they just heat it up again?
No, can't they? They can't heat it up again.
Put it in the
microwave. Go
microwave. So did you take it back?
No. But see, this is me. I always look at it... I always look at the glass half full. That's the way I look at it. And I go, well, I'm not taking it back to fill it up, I'll just drink the rest. I'm all right.
See, I think too, you can do it. You can blow up, or you can do it in different ways. You know that story, Tommy, when we were out, and I was angry because I asked for a bowl of olives 3 times.
Yeah, furious.
Yeah, but I wasn't furious. I just acknowledged that I'd asked 3 times. So when the waiter came over at the end and said, you can leave a tip here, and I said, look, I'm not giving a tip tonight. Yeah. So I didn't blow up. I said, I just want to let you know why I'm not giving a tip. And it's nothing to do with you.
Oh,
it's to do with that idiot behind the bar.
Do you understand?
Made me wait 3 hours.
Do you understand, though, mate, what you sound like?
Yeah, but do you know what?
No. Let me just say, it's like someone. If you got off the show today at 9 o'clock and went, Whip, great show, mate. Can I just say that break that you did, that break about settling and not being 100% in a relationship,
missed the mark,
mate. You missed the mark. How would you? And I know you so
this guy,
well,
right?
You would be so upset that someone has told you that.
But this guy would have walked away going, "What did I do wrong, and why didn't I get a tip?" I've been so nice to those people, and I thought I'd done a great job, so I was just saying, I'm not giving a tip tonight, but it's got nothing to do with you.
You're not his father.
I didn't want that to be the impact and the impression that he thought he was failing. So I said, you've done all right, son. Your work's been good.
The other one that we complain about with Whip is that and you know what, pubs do this. Pub put their glasses into like a dishwasher, and it quickly heats them up, and they bring them out, and they may fill up a beer with a warm glass. You know what?
You don't do that.
The cold beer will cool that glass down.
It'll also crack it
within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? If Whip gets
dangerous.
a warm glass and it's a full beer, he'll go, nah, I will not drink that, mate. I want a colder glass.
If we do a quick survey of 100 people listening right now, and I can see them
Andy
listening,
Lee.
Tom.
Yeah.
I can see them. Let's
what do
check
you
with
got?
the 100.
The 100.
Who's happy to have a cold
Can
beer
I be Sophie Monk?
in a warm glass?
Nothing beats a cosy winter getaway.
Or escaping to a tropical paradise.
If you're thinking about an early winter escape, whatif.com has just the place.
Check out great accommodation deals across Australia on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel? Anyone in the room flown on a private jet before? I mean, there's a fine line between getting a small rural jet out to the middle of somewhere and then getting on what you'd consider to be a sexy private jet.
No, I haven't been on a brand new private jet.
Give me a couple of hours old if you want. And
I
you would
told
have done a
you.
private jet.
Why would I have been on a private jet?
It's just your life.
No, I had a mate who worked at the private jet airport in Sydney here, and he said the people who were the most common, they'd fly in, sort of the Asian gamblers, and they'd fly in on a Friday, fly out on a Sunday night, but for $20,000 an hour would just keep pushing it back because they were still sitting at the cash on the punts. $20,000 an hour.
As it sat on the tarmac.
Yeah.
There was a stage there where Wippa was following some private jet company, right? And Wippa would go, oh, mate, they do these deals, right? If there's a day that they're not flying, like at the last minute, they'll go, tomorrow, $5,000 you can have the plane for the day. And I'll go, you know why, mate? Because it's a Tuesday and everyone's working. It's not like we can just leave work tomorrow and go on a private jet somewhere.
Completely misunderstood how it works. It's called an empty leg. So it's when a jet is coming back to where it needs to come back to and they've got nobody on board, they offer it up cheap.
Yeah, at the last minute.
No, not at the last minute.
Yeah.
So if we needed to go to, say, Melbourne for something, and we could look on this app and go, oh my God, there's a private jet. I'd never get on it.
Yeah.
There's a private jet going. It's 3 o'clock on Friday. Bang!
No,
loaded up with sauce.
So you're not getting a cheap private jet on a Friday.
Empty
somewhere.
legs, mate. You got to take the empty legs.
You can also jump on a Qantas flight for $200 at Friday at 2 p.m. if you want to go.
Do you know what? This woman who has worked on as flight crew, she's done over 35 years on VIP private jets, ranging and servicing people from CEOs to billionaires, actors, producers, musicians, athletes. She said, I once flew with a criminal and 3 armed guards. They have to shift this guy back to the States. It was a bikie. She was very nervous about that one. She goes on to talk about the amount of people that get on board and just party.
Yeah.
So won't sit down, planes taking off, champagne's bottles are popped, lighting is on, and passengers will dance all the way out of town.
Well, Rolling Stones had their own plane. When they're at the height, at the peak of their careers, just flying around the world touring, you can imagine what was going on that plane. Well, Keith Richards spoke about it in his book, Life. Well, they got busted a couple of times. The amount of times that they got out of jail with the best lawyers...
Is that right?
Yeah. They would get busted with drugs on planes.
Probably because, too, when you take off in one spot and then whatever you're doing on board, you land in another country, the rules have changed.
Well, this is the thing.
Taylor Swift had 2 private jets that were flying around. Remember that? There was a decoy one, and then there was the one that had Taylor in. Yeah. So where she would move from spot to spot, you never knew which plane she was in. So when one would land on the tarmac, you didn't know whether it was the decoy or Swifty's jet.
Imagine if that was your job. I'm the decoy, Taylor Swift.
Decoy jet. You'd even have a double, wouldn't you?
You'd have a double.
Blonde wig.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we were
Ready
talking
to
about
go.
the other day, she was, in a lyrics London Boy talking about her ex, Joe Alwyn. And Jess, you brought this up, but apparently, because she said in her lyrics that she would watch the rugby at the pub with he and his mates. And I'm going, as if Taylor Swift's down the pub watching the rugby. But it was confirmed, wasn't it?
Yeah, so she was rocking a brown wig around London for quite some time. Before anyone kind of knew she was over there. No one knew, so she would be in the pubs doing all of that.
That's awesome, right?
And also can confirm she used to get her assistant to put an umbrella over her and step out of the fake private jet, but wear Taylor's backpack, so it did look like all the paps would get her, and then she'd be in the one behind.
God, I'll never talk about Taylor Swift without inviting you to the mic again, Jess.
Thank you so much.
She goes on to talk about how one time the client on board demanded the pilot put the plane in autopilot and come and join the crew dancing.
This is awesome.
Now, stop flying the plane, get up here and have a couple of shooters.
Yeah.
Now. She goes on to say that one time she received the ding from the bedroom of the private jet and were told that we need drinks. It's quite hot up here. She offered to turn the air conditioning up. They suggested, no, we need refreshments. Walked in, and there was a couple joining that exclusive club, Le Malha Club.
What?
Anybody done that?
Nah.
MDG?
Oh, I mean, I would love to. I would love to. I'm a huge person, and those bathrooms in planes are very small.
Absolutely no chance.
I
can't even get in there to do a wee.
No, you can't. You'd be hunched over, wouldn't you? You'd be crammed in there.
I do have to lean up
to the side.
Over, and you've just got to hope.
You have no clue how anyone could fit 2 people in there and get anything going on.
I think it's going in the bowl.
I think it is. Oh, mate, up. Sorry, I'm in the exit row.
Oh, there is another person. Sorry, Steve.
That's a funny way of calling it.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
We're looking for amazing survival stories. Lucky to be alive.
Lucky to be alive, mate. Lucky to be alive.
Is that Rolf Harris?
No, John Williamson there.
Oh, sorry, bro.
That's Johnny. Lucky to be alive stories.
Lucky to be alive.
Okay, now you can't see too much. It's a pretty scratchy video, but I'm about to show you. It's in Russia.
Oh, you're taking us to Russia.
When we're going to Russia, I don't know how legitimate it is, but it's... Okay, so... This guy's had a few too many drinks. He's in an apartment building and he has survived a fall from the 19th floor.
No.
He's landed on a car.
No.
Like it's out of the movies. In the top of the car, right on the roof. He's landed.
He's getting up and walking away.
He got up, Whip, and he walked away singing, still drunk, and he said, "I'm fine. Take me to the hospital." So they walked him to the hospital down the road.
What?
Now, they found out that he had a minor concussion and a compressed fracture of the spine, but he wasn't too bad because he could walk. But he survived. That's 62 metres.
And he was singing the Johnny Williams song, was he? I love the Russian version of that.
So that's
German.
So everyone on the ground there's just gone, oh my God, this is going to be a horrific sight that we're about to see. The guy gets up after falling 19 floors and walks himself to the hospital.
My God. I had a mate and his uncle was one of these deep sea cave diving guys. And he had a situation where he realised the gap was a little bit small, and as he swam through, He swam through, his arms were pinned to his side.
That is my worst nightmare.
He's tried to streamline it. He's dolphin kicking.
No.
And he's got caught between the rocks.
Oh, my gosh.
He's been caught between the rocks.
Because that's claustrophobic as well. You start to panic.
Tank's starting to run out. Tank's running out. Tank runs out, right? So he gets his last breath from the tank as another diver comes to his rescue. Lucky to be alive. Wedged there.
No,
managed to
thanks.
dislodge him while handing the mask back and forth to his rescuer.
That was when Sam Burgess did SAS. Remember, they had to go through that tunnel. And he couldn't get in. He couldn't get through because his shoulder was stuffed.
Fellas, I'm stuck.
And he was apparently in there for 2 hours. No, thanks.
He was lucky to
and
be
you
alive.
can't move.
No.
Lucky to be alive. Lucky to be alive. Lucky to be alive. All right, Australian authorities have rescued a group of fishermen. Did you see that one?
On the
overnight?
island.
This was 313 kilometres to the west of Broome. Now, this was Cyclone Isla. They got taken off. One boat went under, and there was 9 people who lost their lives. Another 11 men found this island, 313 kilometres away from Broome. They'd been on there for 6 days. No water, no food, and it was just lucky because there was just a plane looking for...
I saw that footage this morning.
Illegal boats that just went over and saw them waving. Lucky to be alive. Lucky to be alive. We're looking for survival stories right now. If you've got one, someone who is lucky to be alive, what happened to them?
Maddie, lucky to be alive. What's your story?
Yeah, I got hit by a car, estimated doing about 120 k's. I was riding a push bike, ripped my right arm out, compound fracture to my lower leg with my ankle up around my knees. Doctors told the ambulance say goodbye to him because he's not going to make it to the hospital.
Oh, my God.
Did you hear that?
Sorry?
Did you hear them say that?
No, that's what I was told afterwards.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
So was it from behind, Matty, or did he come across a crossing?
Yeah, no, I was going across the road and over the crest of a hill.
Yeah.
I was riding with my mate and the passenger driver said, look out for the guy on the bike. And he swerved to the other side of the road because he saw my mate and he didn't see me and just collected me.
Oh,
jeez, Matty, did you fly forward from the bonnet or did you go over the car?
I went over the car. Apparently I did a couple of somersaults and landed millimetres away from a big rock on the ground as well.
Matty, I've always wanted to know in this situation, obviously you're very upset and it's completely changed your life. Have you ever met the guy? Have you ever spoken to the guy?
Yeah, it went to court, obviously, and yeah, like I was 13 at the time. I wanted to, first thought is let's do it back to you. A lot of years have passed now, it's whatever.
Yep.
I've got a great story, and as they say, chicks like scars, and I've got plenty of them.
Well done, mate.
Gee whiz. That is a huge story. Tommy, a little something for Matty behind the scenes here, mate.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Like, not a helmet. He's got one of those.
What are ribs and burgers?
No, his ribs are fine now.
Right. Well, that's...
Broken ribs and burgers, perhaps.
Ben from Raby, what was your lucky to be alive story, Benny?
About 14 years ago, I was attacked with an axe 6 times to the head.
What, from someone that you knew, Ben, or was it a random attack?
Random attack in my front yard.
Oh.
In your front yard. So paint the picture. What are you doing in your front yard and what time of the day was it?
At the time, it was my ex's birthday and we were having a party.
Yeah.
All drinking and everything else. And, yeah, some random guy come up with an axe and the handlebar out of a shopping trolley.
Man.
And I was the first one when he come up.
So did you remember much of it, Benny, or did he knock you out pretty early?
No, I don't remember much of it, but I do remember that I just wanted to get up and knock his block off.
Yeah, but you couldn't move.
I didn't realise what had happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I walked to the ambulance and everything else, but I was just covered in blood and everything.
Jeez. God, Benny, so six whacks with the axe?
Yeah. Fractured eye socket, fractured skull, And when I put my hands up to protect myself, I got 2 broken fingers.
Oh, Benny.
My God, you are lucky to be alive.
And he just wasn't happy with the party, Benny, or did you find out why?
Bad music?
No, he apparently was on drugs and been drinking as well, so...
Benny. That is an amazing story, mate. Any complications since, Ben, or you're right now?
Oh, no, I suffer migraines and all that sort of stuff, mate.
Oh, my gosh. Lucky to be alive.
That's an extraordinary story, too. Something for Benny behind the scenes as well, Tom.
Oh, gosh, you just... there's prizes.
Not an axe.
We've got $500 cash to give away that I'm still standing. We probably should have got Matty and Matt
the pen to play. They are still standing.
Well, they are. Get ready to play. We'll do that soon.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
School in the States is thinking about banning trophies, guys. Banning your first, second, third place awards and banning trophies for any sporting team or any individual that achieves above others on the field. It's such an interesting one, isn't it? Because as a parent, you always want to encourage. You always want to say, mate, that was a great effort. Even though it mightn't have been number one, well done. But at the same time, you look at your upbringing and thinking, well, you know what? When I didn't win the trophy or I didn't get that first place, it drove you to think next sports day, mate, I'm going to come in harder. I'm going to run faster. I'm going to take off quicker because I want to get that trophy. I want to get the ribbon. Remember when you used to just get the participation ribbon?
Yes.
Hated that one. Don't give me a red one that says nothing. I'm not going to stick that on my shirt.
My mum used to keep those as well. I'd be like, Mum, you can't have those around the house.
No, it means you turned up.
Don't be showing Auntie Trish those ones.
No way.
I don't want to participate. I want to be in the top 3.
I want to be in the top 3 or I want the trophy. It's an interesting one because you always spend your time, and like we've had Ben Crow who was on the show, and we were talking about what to say to your kids if they're not the best. And I know with a lot of winter sport kicking into gear and a lot of Oz kicks back and up and running, that you use the phrase, I just love coming to watch you play.
Yeah, I just loved watching you out there today.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love watching you run around and have a good time.
And that puts a smile on kids' face. And I understand that as well. But there is, I'm having problems now with, I've got a 13 and a 10-year-old about mental fortitude. And then, I immediately go back to when I was that age. Yeah. And I was hopeless as well.
Yeah.
When anything got too hard, I didn't want to push myself.
Pull the pen.
But you know what? I can, it was a big win in the Fitzgerald house the other day. Lenny's 10, right? And he just, for years and years, just would clean his teeth really quickly and there was no love in it at all. And he just didn't want to listen to us. Lately, I've been noticing he's really taking pride in cleaning his teeth.
That's good. Well done.
And I looked at BJ and there was that little grin on the face.
I've made it.
It's taken a few years, but we got there.
Here's a trophy.
Well done.
It's white teeth. Congratulations, you made it.
Yeah, here's a ribbon for participating.
Do you know what worries me? I've got Jack, who's almost like he's got something missing and he's fearless and he'll run at it and he'll go at it, whether it makes sense, whether he thinks he can do it, he'll have a crack. Ted gets a little bit more reserved.
Yeah.
And there's
He's
things like...
first child though, isn't he?
First child. Like the other day we were driving around Centennial Park and there were some horses. And I went, you know what? We should go on a horse. You guys ever been on a horse? You don't go on a pony ride. Francesca was up for it. Jack was up for it. Ted, I'm never getting on a horse.
Yeah, but that's because we cuddled the kids. That's the first kids are the ones that you cuddle. Oh, everything will be all right. There's no one, questioning them. We're always looking after them. That's why the younger brother and sister are the tough ones.
We went for a run the other day. Ted had a 2-kilometre cross-country event coming up. I said, Ted, Jack, let's go. We're going for a 2K run. We mapped it out on the Map My Run, and then we did it and came back. Ted, I'm never doing that again. Oh. Jack, can we go again tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, mate. Yeah. Ted, let's sit down. Yeah. You don't have to be like your father, who's really struggled through that 2Ks, but he did.
Yeah.
Let's get on a horse and go for a run.
I don't know if they're going to have that running ability of their father, though.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't
Great
know.
endurance.
Well,
big engine. Lots
let's
of
just
push-ups.
say they'll have lots of participation ribbons at home.
Very strong in a degustation.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It was that beautiful moment when Niall Horan went into Lewis Capaldi's change room just before he was going out for a huge gig. They're just great mates. You know, I love that. I really do love that. Just two
Having a lager.
Two classic punters. Just
Lager.
having a laugh,
Vodka.
going out there to, millions of adoring fans. That's a beautiful song, Heaven, isn't it?
Keeping it real. Niall Horan on a podcast yesterday. This was good. It's a great story, and it was about when he was here in Australia and the boys were playing golf. Have a listen.
We'd always tour Australia, and anywhere we went, Channel 9 News and decided it.
Oh,
This helicopter, and it would be coming down to the point where the balls would be moving on the green, playing golf, and then 5 or 6 news cameras in the bushes behind us. Would the 3 of us hit the worst shots you've ever seen? Whatever we said before we'd hit it, we pretend we all got a hole in one just for the news.
Awesome. Love that man. Such a real bloke. Such a great guy, and I felt like we've let him down time after time.
Why?
Every time he's here, he says, "Oh, lads, we should go and grab a beer." I said, "Oh, I got school pickup, mate.
We've got the kids today." Or
I feel like a loser. Every time he says, "Let's go and have a couple off the wood."
I know, he's still living his best life.
Isn't he? And so he should.
Wait till he has kids.
Having
Everything's come crashing down.
bit of music, bit of golf. What's on today, Niall? Music and golf again? Anything else going on? Hey, Niall, what are you doing? More of these? A bit more of that?
School holidays, trying to keep him busy. Oh, anyway, I do love my family, though. How good families. I love them.
You know what? I'm on a group. I'm like on a parenting group.
Oh, I thought
It's
that
really
other
cool.
group that you got into trouble for.
No, that's different. Anyway, I sent a very funny TikTok last night to the
I don't
group.
reckon it would have been.
It was just hilarious. It was about a mum going, "I slept on a blow-up mattress last night because my 1-year-old kicked me out of my own bed. Then the baby pooed on the carpet and the dog ate the poo. Then the dog vomited. And then I stepped in the other one. And it was like, that's mum life. That's parent life. That's what it is." And when I look at these videos, I go, "Ha, ha, ha, ha."
Was there a punchline?
No, that was kind of it.
Well, you hailed a sort of a TikTok hero amongst the group.
Yeah.
Oh, good one, Whip. He's done it again.
I got a little bit of, we've all been there. You know what I mean?
Classic.
I've never stood in
Who
poo for the
sent that
record.
back? Man Mountain? Or
Nah, I think Smack Daddy or
was
the
it
Dazzler.
Hellman?
Could have been Hellman.
How is Hellman going?
Good question, mate.
Burning?
I hope he's burning in Hellman. No, he did have a couple of
On
STIs.
the highway to Hellman.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What are the chances?
Chance of coincidence this morning, guys. Westfield voucher up for grabs. Jessica, could you fire off a little Titanic music, if you wouldn't mind? A bit of Celine Dion. My chin will go on.
What are the chances the Titanic went down?
It did. 1912, guys. What a romantic story. In such tragedy, we see the romance of this beautiful
The
tale.
unsinkable ship, wasn't it called? Wasn't it labelled?
Yeah, till she went down.
I mean, there's a fair few icebergs out there, isn't there?
Iceberg! This girl by the name of Violet Jessup, she was aboard the Titanic in 1912.
How good's a feed at icebergs?
That's not bad, is it? The steak there. And you get the pasta.
That's nice.
Don't get me wrong, with the pippies. You know that one? What do they call that, Tom? Bloody good dish.
Pasta with pippies.
Thanks, mate. Covered in oil, a little bit of garlic, and I'm happy. Aperol
Tommy's
spritz it.
been on the glass bit.
Oh, here we go. What's your story there, Whip?
Thanks, mate. Jess was on the Titanic. It sank in 1912. She was aboard a lifeboat. She got out. 16 people on the lifeboat. Her and her sister then decided, even after that, bravery to her, she got on the HMAS Britannica in 1916. She wanted to continue to travel the adventures of life. That sank. Bloody hell. She's had a shocker.
Dude.
Nearly got sucked under the boat's propeller. She jumped out and survived. How's this? She then decided to get on the RMBS Olympic.
Oh, yeah, that was...
It sank.
Cruise ship.
It
Yeah,
collided
that was
with a warship. Disaster. So she was on 3 ship disasters.
Imagine her mates when she said, let's go on another cruise.
I got my hens party coming up. You want to go on a boat? Not with you, Jess. She died at 83 of congestive heart failure. Bloody good story, that. Really good tale. I enjoyed telling that. James and Elwood, what are the chances?
My parents got married in 1962 on the 28th of April.
Yeah.
Then exactly a year after that, my sister was born 28th of April 1963.
Wow.
Then 7 years after that, my brother was born. 1970 on the 28th of April.
Wow.
What are the
I mean,
chances?
is it a huge event at your house, James, the 28th of April? There's a fair bit going on.
Well, that's 9 days'
Yeah,
time,
no,
James.
Usually good catch-up, but yeah, one event happened, and back in 96, what happened on the 28th of April?
What?
Port Arthur Massacre.
Oh, you've really brought it down, haven't you, Jim?
Fair bit going on that date.
It was going so well, wasn't it?
Yeah. We weren't celebrating too much that year.
We move on from James. Thank you, mate.
Let's go to Ashley in Londonderry. What are the chances, Ash?
My mum passed away on the 26th of January, and 5 years later to the day, at the exact same time, my daughter was born.
Wow.
What are the chances?
Isn't it funny, Ash? You sometimes think that a past life could be looking over and making sure that everything's going to be all right. And
I do believe it.
It was brought true to you through a baby.
You know, one gone, one gone. That is a beautiful day, Ash. Well done, Fiona in Marylands. What are the chances?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So myself, my mother and my older sister, we all ruptured our ACLs needing knee reconstructive surgery. We all did it on the 13th of August on different years.
No.
Wow.
We all got our surgeries done at the same hospital.
Yep.
And all done by the same surgeon.
Oh, that's not
What are the chances?
those bits aren't really a coincidence. You just went to the same hospital and got the same doctor.
That's right. Yeah, you got referred to the same doctor. But you know what, Fee? On the 13th of August, anyone from that family, I would not be leaving the house at all.
Nah, self the netball court, guys.
Yeah, you'd sit down all day. Oh, you're kidding me? For the same club and same team?
No.
Oh, damn.
But that would have been cool.
Yeah, we've kind of ruined it.
Tommy, who do we give that one to? We've got what is it? $100 voucher to Westfield?
Yeah. Well, I like the ACLs all done.
Well done, Fee.
You would,
on the same date.
Loving that ball.
That's great.
Loves knees.
Love it.
Well done, Fee. That's yours. Stay on the line. We'll get your details.
Denise denies the nose.
That's the joke, Tom, isn't it?
Mate.
That is the joke.
It's a funny joke.
It's such a good joke.
It's been around for ages.
Your dad
What
tells
are the
it so
chances that you brought that up?
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Just keep the music going. I need to talk about bachelor life. Yeah! Whoa! Hey, don't come around to my place unless you want to pick up a couple of bottles off the ground. Kick the cans out of the place. It's been a party round at my joint every night.
You just told us that you're doing absolutely nothing.
No, I didn't, mate.
Lean cuisines.
Do you know what it is?
Going to bed at 8:30. Loser.
I got myself a pack, 20 frozen prawn dumplings from the supermarket. That was my entree. Oh, very good. Very good.
No,
Loved it.
I don't know about frozen dumplings.
My wife and my 3 children are in Melbourne, so I've got the place to myself.
You're doing absolutely nothing.
Mate, it's been so loose.
That is
been so wild.
What quarters are you staying in?
Huh? Yesterday. I mean, I got left 5 lean cuisines. Yeah, and they're varied. They're not bad.
What are you getting a lean cuisine these days?
Chicken, peas and rice I had last night. I don't know the name of the dish.
Yeah, gotcha.
The salmon one with the curly noodles, curly spaghetti, curly pasta. Don't mind that one. I'm just trying to maintain, but I'm doing the minimum. Like I did the dishwasher the other day. That was Monday. I haven't emptied it yet. I've just been washing up my own little stuff. Last night, Jess said, "Did you sit down and eat your dinner in front of the TV?" No, I had it standing up just in front of the sink out of the plastic container.
Crazy.
Like, it's pretty loose, mate. I'll do things like go to the cupboard, not shut the cupboard.
There's a TV show in this.
I'll do things like...
What is he up to now?
Leave my towel on the floor. Stuff that. Who's going to tell me to pick that up? No one.
Well, you've got...
Batch Life is back.
There's a cleaner that does it.
Back. Batch Life's back. All right. Getting a lot of FaceTime activity from the wife, which feels like she's checking in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk to me, pick up the phone. You don't need to FaceTime. Where are you now? Oh, I can't hide. Can I? Can't hide now. I'm naked in the backyard again doing some bum sunning.
Oh, yeah. What, sphincter bleaching?
No, just sunning it. Doesn't get a lot of sun down there, so quite often I'll just on a towel in the backyard doing a bit of bum sunning. Remember that was a thing last year?
Bum sunning?
Yeah, not enough people doing bum sunning. It's good for that area. Here's the thing. I don't do the washing, Fitz. You know that. I know you do your own washing. But to start with, I had to work out where the powder goes again and the liquid. Why? God. Hey, washing machine idiots in the design process. Right liquid, right powder. Think about that, idiot.
Gosh.
Like, doesn't need to be hard. So last night I did 2 loads and I just varied it. I just did liquid in one, powder in all right, mate, and then powder in the other one, and then liquid in the other one. So here I am, and I'm standing in the laundry. Every time Lisa rings, I run to the laundry. So in FaceTime, I'm doing another load. Yeah. So then, here's the thing. She said last night, where are my silk pants? Do you know where they are?
Oh,
silk pants. You tell me. There's a guy by the name of...
Thank God I didn't wear mine into the show today.
They're her prized possession. There's a guy called Michael Osordo, makes silk stuff, made the silk dress for the Bond girl.
Ah, yeah.
What was the Bond movie we watched the other night, Tommy?
Yeah, Anna de Armas's dress.
Yes.
Sydney designer.
Famous for it.
Yeah, Die Another Day.
Die Another Day. So I washed the pants last night. But I didn't really realise they were amongst all the whites. I separated them. Yeah. And then I put them into the dryer.
This is riveting.
Wait, hang on, what? Into the dryer? The silk into
silk
the dryer?
Pants into the dryer, and I went to bed and I just put it on, put the fan on in the laundry.
You know you can't do that, right?
Well, that's the thing. How bad is it to put silk in a dryer?
What happens to silk?
It shrinks. They're going to come out being like for Ted.
Oh,
You've ruined her really expensive.
It's a shrinky in the oven. It's like a chip packet.
Yeah.
So I've ruined those, have I?
Yeah, like 100%.
Okay. I wonder what Ted would look like in a pair of white silk pants.
That's not bad.
Anyway, I'm putting the invitation out. Boys, who's coming around tonight? Don't let the party stop. Them boys are back in town. Whoa, back. Hand in the air if you want to come around, MDG.
Are you talking to us or listeners? Do you want listeners to come over?
Sorry, I tuned out about 30 seconds ago.
No. You guys officially invited to come around tonight for a batch party.
Do you want us to wear our silk pants?
If you need any of your washing done, I'll put another load on.
And, you know, those lean cuisines, it was 1 a night, not 5 on the first night.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.